American James Bond. Reacher star's criticism exposes Bond 26's biggest challenge. Recent comments made by Reacher star Alan Ritchson about the 007 franchise highlight the biggest challenge Bond 26 has to overcome. Ritchson, who plays the titular hero Jack Reacher in the Amazon Prime Video show, has given his honest thoughts about the James Bond movies. Among his comments, Ritchson referred to Reacher as the American James Bond. Though his criticisms weren't entirely constructive, Ritchson's remarks reinforce a perception about the 007 series that Bond 26 must strive to shake off. Alan Ritchson has starred as Jack Reacher in 2 seasons of the hit action show. The actor has won acclaim for his work on the series, and in doing so, Ritchson has proven he's the perfect Jack Reacher. Similarities have been noted between the characters of Reacher and James Bond, and as such, Ritchson's name is one of several that have been mentioned in association with the role of 007. Now, Ritchson has given his own thoughts on the comparison, and they demonstrate a problem with the Bond franchise that Bond 26 must resolve. Alan Ritchson's James Bond criticism is wrong, but shows Bond 26's challenge. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Ritchson said of the Bond films, "I love Bond, but I feel like it's a little misogynistic and predictable at this point." While these comments are brutally honest and clear, it's not Ritchson's criticism itself that is an issue for Bond 26. After all, anyone who has seen Daniel Craig's Bond films will know that the series is far less misogynistic and predictable than it used to be. However, Ritchson's comments demonstrate that there's still a perception among the general public of James Bond movies being dated and formulaic, rightly or wrongly. It's hardly surprising that general audiences hold this opinion. The Bond franchise has been around for over 6 decades, and for much of that time, the series was undeniably misogynistic. The movies of the 60s and 70s were synonymous with traditional British values, and the Bond girls of those eras were often reduced to damsels in distress who provided a certain degree of eye candy. Though the Bond movies have come a long way, the franchise's history of misogyny and dated tropes means that its reputation has been somewhat tarnished. This is an issue that Bond 26 needs to fix. Is Reacher really America's answer to James Bond? When asked if he has any desire to play James Bond, Ritchson told Entertainment Weekly that he considers Reacher to be like the American Bond. A comparison between the two is understandable. After all, both are heroic figures who ultimately save the day. Both are loners with no attachments, and both are highly skilled marksmen and combatants who are not afraid to kill. However, the title of American James Bond is probably better suited to characters like Jason Bourne or Ethan Hunt than Jack Reacher. Furthermore, by making the comparison, Ritchson is almost doing a disservice Lee Child's original character. Describing Jack Reacher as the American equivalent of James Bond almost dismisses the character's uniqueness. Unlike Bond, Reacher is a drifter rather than a secret agent and, as such, is not affiliated with any organization. He helps people because he wants to, as opposed to doing it because it's his job. And rather importantly, Reacher doesn't indulge in the same levels of womanizing as Bond does.